that was the case in Mercedes, but they did play. So when y'all want to talk about the game, we could talk a little bit about that.
Well, you know who did play also were Taps and La Villa. Taps being St. Joe's. So, they're tougher than those 6A teams. But, they're a lot tougher. I mean, I think our first guest.
Were you a private school player? Is that what you're telling me?
It sounds like he may have a little private school bias there.
But St. Joe's and La Villa played last night,
and it was an exciting matchup. St. Joe's would pull out; they would get a pretty good lead, and then La Villa managed to come back, and they would tighten up the score. But the final score last night, it was 54-32. Coach Tino Villarreal of the Bulldogs is joining us here, St. Joseph Academy Bulldogs. Good morning, Coach. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Good morning. We're the Bloodhounds.
Oh, my bad. I knew there was a dog involved. I apologize for that.
It's okay.
Tell me about last night's game. How did you guys do with the weather? Did you get any rain? Was that any a factor at all?
We did get rain. We started getting rain in the second half. The weather was threatening the entire first half, but it was pretty good. I mean, a couple of great things that took place for us is our ability to still throw the ball even when it's raining. We did a good job. Kai Money did a good job throwing the football. We threw 5 passing touchdowns yesterday in that type of weather situation, and so that was a bright spot for us.
Quite possibly the greatest quarterback name ever heard, Kai Money. Just make sure you.
He's on the all-name team in Texas Campbell Magazine.
that is awesome. Tell me, what is it like when you're coaching a TAPS team? And I know that you have select competition that you have to play, but when you take on a team like La Villa and other teams that you have faced, how does that differ in your game planning?
Well, we don't really face a team that runs that slot T often in TAPS. It's very difficult to play against. That's why I guess people run it, and it does work for our advantage because we're going to face some physical teams in La Villa. They're a small school, but they are physical. We line up Port Isabel and a couple of other non-district games. We try to get the best that we can to play against us, to prepare us against our district, because it is very tough playing the San Antonio and Austin schools.
How many guys do you carry on your roster?
Right now, I have 45.
That's not bad.
No.
That's not bad at all, because we've seen some St. Joe's teams that if you get maybe 30 guys, you may be all right.
Yeah, we've been there. We're blessed to have a lot of kids right now. The hype and the excitement is there at the school, and it's a good thing when you have to order more helmets.
That's always a positive thing. Coach Tino Villarreal of the St. Joe's Bloodhounds joining us here in the Huddle on Fox Sports Radio 1700. You talked about you got Port Isabel coming up. You played La Villa. Would you ever consider, hey, there's a 5A or, would you ever consider that?
Yeah, I mean, we scrimmage Lopez. They're a 6A, and we try to get the best 4As that we can. We've been asking some coaches in the 5A. I would like for after this year, we have another realignment coming up, and I would love to play 5A and 6A football. That's what's it's gonna take to get us ready. I mean, when we play teams like Central Catholic and Austin St. Michael's and Antonian, I mean, they're out there playing 5As and 6As in San Antonio and beating them. I mean, the other day, Dallas Bishop Lynch, they're not in our district, but they're in TAPS. They beat Carter 58-17. So Dallas Carter. So when you get teams playing big 6As like that, when we face them, and we got to face tough competition. If not, the change of the game's going to be a lot different for us.
Coach, not to call out anybody, but you have to tell us who are those 5As that you want to play.
You're dropping the gauntlet.
Let's single them out and try to get them to play you.
Well, we'd love to play Mercedes. They're real tough. I think that Mercedes would be a great team for us to play. I think that that's a good team. I'd like to play a big, tough running team and a big bruising team too. That may get us ready to go. Ed Calcelso would always be good. I mean, we're shooting up there. I mean, we're talking about some of the big dogs in the 5A. We'd like to play them, and definitely some 6As. I'd love to play some Brownsville schools, so we don't have to travel far. But hopefully in the realignment that works out for us.
Now, how comfortable are you with having Kai Money at quarterback? Because he seems to do everything for you. He's running, passing. He's doing just about everything.
You know, Kai is a great kid. He's humble. He's young, but he's a sophomore. But I'll tell you what, this will define Kai Money for you. We got the ball. We called a timeout on a fourth down. We forced a punt. We got the offense on the field with 28 seconds left, no timeouts yesterday. And Kai Money took us down 5 plays, 29 seconds, no timeouts into the end zone, passing the whole way. So when you got a guy like that on your team, and he knows how to manage the clock, and he knows how to take care of the football, we've been very blessed. We're plus 10 on the takeaway margin. We have not thrown an interception or lost a fumble, and we'll knock on wood on that right now. But he's smart. He takes care of the football, and he gets us in the end zone. And what else can you ask for about a quarterback, you know?
Coach, we talk about last night's back-and-forth game. There was a point when you were up 16-0, and then you see La Villa start chipping away 16-8, and I think you went into the half at 30-16. Tell me what you said at the half that, you know, these guys were like, okay, we need to get back to work on this.
Well, you know, we need to be more aggressive in the trenches. I mean, that's just has to happen for us. We're going to face a lot of running teams, and with PI, we're going to have our hands full. And in order for us to close down those games, we're going to have to be a much more physical team. I mean, we've been a finesse team. We do a good job at putting points on the board, but we have to be able to slow down big, powerful running teams like that. And La Villa, they're good, and not to take any credit away from them. I mean, I think Coach Alvarez is doing a good job over there, but PI is going to pack a bigger punch than that, and Antonio is going to pack twice the punch as PI.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about, this is Carlos Roberto from 956 Sports. How you doing this morning?
Good.
Well, congratulations on the victory last night. The tradition at St. Joe's, can you talk a little bit about that, and how do you use that to motivate these kids? How do you get them, maybe recruit some kids in the halls, get them to play football? How do you use that tradition?
Well, I think, you know, we have right now the De La Garza family. We have Bernie De La Garza, our receiver, and he's part of the De La Garza family, and that family just has a long-standing tradition, goes back to their grandfather, and all of the sons that he had, which is one of Bernie's dads there, and now Bernie and his cousins. And when you talk about the De La Garza family, talk about tradition, and that's just one of many families that we have that have had their father and their grandfather and uncles attend St. Joe and wear the red and white, play football there. It's a small community of the same type of families, and we definitely enjoy talking about our tradition. I mean, we have a player, Carlos Esteve. His dad was on the state championship team of 1980. He was a quarterback. So any chance we get to bring that kind of tradition and just have them come talk to the boys, that really shows them that you know, Bloodhound football's always been Ironman football, but we can do it if we can go to a state championship because it's been done before.
Yeah, there was a time when we had to, you know, when we were in the media back in the 90s and the early 2000s, we had to cover St. Joe's because they were always going deep in the playoffs, you know, and vying for that district championship, and the media was all over St. Joe's. I mean, we always had to get the highlights, and I think we're going to have to start doing that again because you guys are doing so well, and you have a football player like Kai Money that there's a lot of buzz around him.
I hope so. But and the common denominator here is for us to get those tough schools to play us, because back then St. Joe would play the Los Fresnos teams and Ed Calchelsea and even Edinburgh. You know, they play those teams back then. You know, of course there was less schools, and so it was feasible to put them on the schedule. Now with these big districts, you got to be very selective with the 2 or 3 non-district games you have in UIL, and hopefully that we're showing that we're good enough to challenge some of these bigger schools and give them a tough game to prepare them for district as they prepare us.
Is Kai Money, is he going to be college material? I know it's early on in his high school career.
He's only a sophomore.
But you could start. Hey, they start recruiting. They start looking at these kids at junior high. What do you think, Coach?
You know, I think that when you put the smart that Kai Money has right now with the education, he's also a great student, and he continues to mature and develop. I mean, I really would love to see Kai go to play college football, and I hope that when that day comes that he saves me a ticket to go watch him play.
Well, you did drop the gauntlet on everybody across the Rio Grande Valley and saying you want your little team to take on the big dogs. So, we hope that people will respond to you. And if not, well, I think we have a hookup with a Mercedes team. We might be able to broker that deal as long as we can do it at a neutral field, and we'll take a small cut. How does that sound?
Really?
We'll do whatever it takes. We just really want to beef up, our opponents. Like I said, we don't want to take anything. We respect every team in the Valley, but our district is tough, and I think that little by little we're edging out and showing people that hopefully we can give you a good game too.
I know that you've had, when you talk about a road game for St. Joe's, that's a trip to Austin, that's a trip to San Antonio. It's not like, some of these other Valley teams that a road trip is from McAllen to Brownsville or McAllen to Laredo, the furthest. How does that impact your team?
Well, it's definitely something that, because it's been going on for such a long time, I think it's become part of our tradition. But I'm a type of coach. This year's my first year as head coach, and the way I like to do it is to just go up there, play, and come back home. Traditionally, we go up there and try to spend the night at a hotel and things like that. And I really am about just hopping on the bus, getting down, warming up, playing the game, and getting back home, preparing for the next opponent. So, a charter bus is pretty comfortable, and watching film while we're on that bus is something that we're going to get used to doing.
So that's a game day ritual. While we're on the bus, we're going to break down film. You get there, you handle business, and then you come right back.
Exactly. I mean, that's what we're looking to do this year.
All right, Coach. Well, listen, we appreciate the love. When is the next time that we'll be able to catch the Bloodhounds at Canales Field?
Well, it'll be in 2 weeks. It'll be September 25th against the PI Tarpons.
All right, so September 25th, you can come out and watch the St. Joe's Bloodhounds when they play host to Port Isabel. Coach Tino Villarreal, we appreciate the time, and best of luck to you.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you.
We appreciate you. That's Coach Tino Villarreal of the St. Joe's Academy Bloodhounds joining us here on the Huddle on Fox Sports Radio.